Good evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the '08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that take to the airways with digital amateur television in the DVB-T format. We transmit on 70 centimeters to a crossband repeater on Cougar Mountain that spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. To find out more about the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, please Google WW7ATS. That's Google WW7ATS. That will take you to our homepage on the internet. There you'll find the exact frequencies we transmit and receive on. Also, you'll find a link to YouTube where we stream our nets held on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Also, we'd like to thank the SeaTac Repeater Association for letting us use WW7STR's repeater 147.08 with a specific tone of 103.5 for our voice transmissions for our nets. Again, you will need a tone of 103.5 to communicate with this net. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. I'll pause in case anybody has emergency traffic or needs to make a contact on the '08 machine before the net starts. Again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. So far signed into the net is Ron, KD7QKU, and myself, Dave, KD7ZYM. Is anybody else wishing to check in? And the net acknowledges Jim, N7QO, has checked in. Thanks for doing that. And so now we'll start off the net with Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, well, good evening, everybody. There's a small group of us tonight, that's for sure. Smallest group I think we've ever had. Well, let's see, we just got back from dinner. We went down the street to the restaurant called the Odd Fellows. It's kind of a, I guess, a British type bistro or something. I had a schnitzel sandwich. It was really good. We all had different things. I think everybody thought their food was good. I think Wade goes there quite a bit. He had mentioned that we'd never been there, so the neighbor lady was here. She's getting her house ready for sale and she's moving, so Joanna invited her to go to dinner with us, so we went down there. It was real good. I'd go back again. What else did I do? Well, I went to the ham club this morning for a little bit and talked to a few guys. I was hoping some of them would join on YouTube. I guess I can't tell if anybody's on YouTube or not. I should get my iPad, I guess, and put it on YouTube so I could see if there were some people watching us. So anyway, I guess for now I'll just turn it back. KD7ZYM and the group KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks with that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. And the net welcomes back Jim, N7QO in Covington. Jim, the mic is yours.
7QO. Thank you, Dave. Well, I said something because when you were first transmitting, I saw you with a perfect video, but since then, when Ron was talking talking, he was only moving for maybe not 3/4. I'm going to say about 2/3 of the time. So I missed about 1/3 of what you said, Ron, because it was not over the 2-meter repeater. But it's coming and going. It's more here than not this week. I can't quite read all of the screen. Like I can't see what power setting the television, the 1.2 gigahertz transmitter is using right now. Yeah, it's going on and off. So anyway, it looked optimistic right away, but now it's not. So what else can I say about that? Trying to do a lot of stuff around the house, and keeping busy, and the nice weather is actually complicating things because I can't delay some of the things and tell my wife, well, it's too cold out there, or it's too rainy out there. It's so kind of get my butt in gear, I guess. Anyway, back to you, Dave, N7QO.
N7QO, thanks with that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. Next up is Carlos, 87NP in Clyde Hill. Carlos, the mic and video is yours.
Okay, let's see if this works. You can hear me? Can you confirm that you can hear me, Dave? Right. Okay, great. Fantastic. Good evening, everyone. I'm in the room next door, so I don't have the RF output. I just have the streaming from the internet, and I'm watching the latency stream, the low latency stream. So hopefully things are working well. It was a beautiful day. I had to assemble a tool shed that came in many different parts, and it was quite exhaustive. It's kind of a metal one, and I think it had 33 pages of instructions. I think it had 1,000 screws, and in the end, when everything was trying to close, things weren't closing correctly. So I guess I had some hinges in the wrong way. Those pictures were not very helpful. But here we are. So good that this all works. So I'm just using my computer today from the next room, different camera, different computer, and different room. So but I'm glad it works. I have a broadcast microphone, just like the professionals and everything. Back to Net Control Dave from 87 NP. I just need to figure out the button.
'87 NP. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. And get an ID out here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. And for me, oh my, the last 3 days have been outside doing some stuff around the yard, and I found my allergies have come back to say hello to me, so I'm pretty stuffed up tonight. Been taking a lot of antihistamines. Unfortunately, a little bit of a side effect on that is I want to take a nap, but I'm forcing myself to stay awake. I did get out get some spicy teriyaki for lunch today. That was great. And then I renewed my ham license plate sticker for my plates and got that renewed. Originally, they wanted to see a certificate for the amateur television license, but I had to tell them, unfortunately, the FCC no longer issues certificates, but I did give them a readout from the database from the FCC search, which showed all of the documentations of my license and showed when it was renewed and it's active. So they accepted that finally, and I got my tag. So I'm good for at least another year to see what they're going to do. Hopefully the database will be updated for another 10 years. I renewed my license last year in January, so anyway, we'll see how that goes. And here in Lake City, I got 60 degrees, mostly sunny, and beautiful weather, and we still got some light out there at 8 o'clock, so that's been a wonderful thing happening. So pretty soon maybe we'll be able to do some outdoor remotes. So this is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. So I'm going to move it back to Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, this is KD7QKU. Well, Jim, I'm sorry, I didn't use 2-meter radio last time. Been using the microphone on my camera, and then I just been listening on the TV. So that's what I've been doing the last few nets. It works fine. Anyway, Carlos putting the shed together. Yeah, that could be difficult, all right. Metal shed. I didn't notice you had a bunch of bandages on your fingers or not, but I would imagine some of those edges on that metal might be kind of sharp. So what did I do? Well, besides going to the ham radio club this morning, and I told earlier, I think Wade is coming. I would think he is. I think he's home anyway. So I was going to tell a few things that happened over there, but I would let Wade do it, I guess, if he shows up. Somebody's trying to get on but didn't make it. I don't know, maybe that's Carlos. So for the benefit of Carlos, Wade got the antennas up at the clubhouse, the Tacoma Ham Club, on a pole, and they're pointed at Cougar Mountain. Coax is all hooked up, but it's not run into the building. It's just laying outside for now. Looked like they're going to go through the crawl space, maybe come up through the floor. I'm not sure what they're going to do. So that was good. Did talk to a few people at the club this morning, trying to get them interested in ATV, telling them how they could get on, go to our website and get on YouTube, so we might have some people watching us and listening to us. This afternoon, Joanne had got a couple of plants, and I helped plant them. So, probably 2 or 3 years ago, we put in, I want to say 5 azaleas, 6 azaleas, along the patio. The patio is kind of raised up off the ground. It's about 2 feet off the ground, I guess. So I decided from the street you can see under there, and I decided it'd be nice maybe to have some plants. We put these azaleas in. Well, 2 of them died, one in the middle and then one on the north end. And the others kind of flourished. Well, I taken the 2 that died out, and I got 2 more that was very similar in color, and put them in, and then lo and behold, this year they're dead. So Joanne got 2 more, so I planted those. So I don't know if they're going to make it or not. I don't know what it is about those 2 plants, but the rest of them have grown tremendously, and those just die, so I don't know what's wrong. Anyway, hopefully they'll grow. I didn't do anything differently. I don't know if there's something in the soil or whatever, but they just kind of wither up and die. So that's what I did. And then, like I say, we just went out to dinner, just got back a minute ago. So with that, I'm going to turn it back to Dave, KD7ZYM, KD7QKU.
KD7 QKU, thanks with that. This is Dave, KD7 ZYM, and my condolences to your plants. Hopefully newbies will survive this summer. So let's move on down to Jim, N7QO in Covington.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, let's see. Carlos, I missed part of that transmission. I got a little more from your transmission than I did from Ron, but his first time around anyway. But I got you saying something about a shed, and I caught you say 30,000 screws. Wow, if I got a project like that had that many screws, I would go to our local Home Depot, and there are usually a bunch of people hanging around there looking to be hired to do some work. Although, now that I think about it, the last few months I haven't seen them hanging around anymore. Oh boy. Anyway, wow, sounds like you've got quite a project there. Dave, spicy teriyaki, antihistamines, staying awake, yeah, it's not, you're not the only one. My wife is having some major problems with pollen now as well, and she's able to get by just with Claritin, and it seems to help her a lot. Amateur radio certificate, yeah, when I renewed mine, I have to stand up and maybe get a magnifying glass or something because it's up a little bit out of my reach. They didn't give me a certificate, but I got an email showing it, and so I printed that out, and in bold print right across the front of it, it says official copy. So I just put that, hung that on the wall here in the shack. Yeah, we're going downhill here. Ron, yeah, Roger, the 2 meters, thanks. 2 meters definitely seems to be less critical now than the internet. For the video here, we need 70 centimeters, 23 centimeters. Yeah, but 2 meters not so much. Unless you're in a predicament like me, so sorry to be the odd man out. And plants, boy, I don't know what's going on with the plants. We've got rabbits running around here, we've got squirrels, we've got raccoons, and my wife got a picture of 2 deer eating on our bushes about 10 feet outside our front door. So, I don't know. Good luck with the plants. Never know what's going to happen to them. But hopefully they're robust enough to survive anything. Back to you, Dave, M7QO.
N7QO, thanks with that. I guess we could say you could be an annex to the nature farms out there with the animals, Trek Northwest. So anyway, thanks for that update on what you're getting in the animals in your neighborhood. And let's see if we can go pick up 87 NP Clyde Hill Carlos.
Okay. Let's see if it shows up on the stream. It does. Very good. Good copy from on everyone. From Ron and Jim. and hopefully my audio is getting out also. I don't know if it was 30,000. It was definitely many. And you're right. Some of them got under my skin. I think this is how they design it. I got a new antenna this week. I haven't put this one up yet. In fact, it's still in the plastic. Let me see if I remove the plastic without much noise. All right. This is my 10 gigahertz antenna. Because now that I have the icon 905 up there. Now I wanna set up to 10 gigahertz. So that's gonna be my. It was gonna be my project for tomorrow, but then they said it's gonna be raining, so maybe not a good idea to go on the roof. But looking forward to try out 10 gigahertz also and see how that goes. It's gonna be the new project. I haven't seen Wade online. A couple of projects that I think we want to update over the weekend. So maybe tomorrow we'll do something. Jim, I think the power is on the max from what I could see. It's minus 17, so hopefully you're getting images. If not, for sure you should get it on the stream. The online stream seems to be working fine, at least the low latency one. And same here, Dave. Kind of beautiful weather. So hopefully we would have it of the same tomorrow. But I doubt it. On the technical side, I had my 3D printer feeder. So basically, there's a feeder that has four different spools, and it stopped working. And so I've contacted the support of the company, and they said, go and use a multimeter and start measuring voltages and disassemble all that. It was quite interesting because in the end they said, we're going to send you a new board for that component. And so I like that they don't kind of replace full devices, and we can now get to a point where we just replace components on the system. So I enjoy that. Back to Dave, Net Control from 87 NP.
'87 NP, thanks with that. And we'll get another ID out. This is the Western Washington. And with that, I'm going to pause in case anybody is trying to contact the net through the internet gateway. I'll pause for about a minute and see if anybody wishes to check in with the Western Washington Amateur Television Society on the internet gateway. This is Dave, KD7ZYM.
Hello, Dave, and to the rest of the net. Hello, Ron, and I wish you luck with your garden, and colors. Yes, it does take some coordination to put a bridge together, especially a shed. Then other parts and screws make sure that you don't you're not missing anything. And just overwhelmed with my work and whole bunch of email since we launched our cruise sat in orbit. Right now, in the rendezvous state at 12 kilometers, and it's about 5 kilometers of separation between the two sets, and we had so much viewers on the crash system. So we had to migrate the feed to another platform, and it's that people are so overwhelmed about lazy. They're talking about lasers going to the sky and the light. Well, our laser cannot be seen by the naked eye. And then when we do fire the laser out to the platform, the accuracy system know that what we're doing how long. Usually give them 10 minutes warning, so the aircraft doesn't or any type of aircraft knows that there's something going on that quadrant or sends you. But anyway, let's go and talk to you later. KD6ILO.
K6ILO, thanks for joining us, Mario. And again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. Well, everything seems to be... I seem to have a breakup on pictures that was going out. And so I went out and I double checked on my antenna alignment, and it seemed to be in the right place. And so during this net, I noticed everything seems to be back to normal. I don't know if it was just some leaves that come up on a tree that was bypassing the signal or something up to the repeater, but it seems to be functioning properly again. And pictures all across the board have been looking good. Ron has a good picture as well as Carlos. Also. So anyway, everything seems to be working properly through the repeater. Anyway, that's the status of what's happening there. So I'm going to move it back up to the top to Ron, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU here. Well, hi Mario. KD7QKU here. Glad to have you with us this evening. You were in a different place, I could tell, and I'm not sure where you said it was. It looks like we're going to have another person join our net here in a minute. It looks like James is trying to get in, and maybe somebody else, I'm not sure. So, what else is going on? I just went and got my iPad, turned on YouTube so I could see the streaming. It's really good. I can't tell how many people are watching it, but for some reason it must just be how I got in. But it used to be, it would tell you how many people were watching the stream. But anyway, I haven't looked at that for a long time. So let's see what else is going on. Well, I was working on my sprinkler system, trying to get my arborvitae trees, you know, they're about 8 feet.
I had to replace 5 of them on the east
and dying. They look terrible, so I replaced them.
Replaced them this spring, or actually last fall. And so I wanted to get the sprinkler watering system. It's just a little mist sprinklers that come on. But I'm having trouble programming on the faucet. I have a battery operated controller that turns them on and off, and they're hooked up with hoses, and so I'm having trouble getting it programmed. So right now I have it programmed to come on at 9 o'clock. Well, guess what? I'm not going to be out there to see it come on. Maybe I can go out afterwards and see if the ground's wet. But it has 4 programs, A, B, C, and D, and I wanted them to come on in the morning and in the evening, but I can only seem to get it to come on in the evening. So it's kind of disgusting. But I can put it in manual, I guess, but that doesn't, I know the sprinklers work, but it doesn't tell me it works in automatic. So when I put it in auto, that's when I want it to come on, and I'm never around to see it come on. So anyway, it looks like Jim joined us. James, nice to see James. Yeah, I know what Jim Che meant, N7QO, about the people at the Home Depot. We had those in Bellevue, and I hired them a couple of times. I put this mulch in all of our beds and underneath all of our trees and everything. I had it delivered, and I had it delivered on pallets in bags. I got 2 pallet loads, and I think there was like 50 bags on a pallet. I got it from Cedar River, out there by on the other side of Issaquah, where they take all the garbage waste and they grind it up. Really good stuff, kind of expensive, really good. So anyway, I went down to Home Depot and hired 2 guys, and I picked the biggest guy because the bags were pretty heavy, and he had a friend, and his friend came with him, was a small guy, of course. So anyway, I hired him, and I could only put 1 bag in the wheelbarrow and wheel it around, and we had some rockeries and stuff, so there was, places that you had to climb up. Well, this guy could put 3 bags in I had a construction wheelbarrow and wheel it around, and he just threw the bags up in the areas, and the little guy cut the bags and dumped them, and it was pretty amazing. It only taken him about an hour to do like 100 bags, but it would have taken me 2 weeks, and I would have been exhausted and sore and overwhelmed. So it was really good to hire those guys. So yeah, and they really worked hard. So anyway, with that, I'll turn it back to Dave. KD7ZYM, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks for that. This is Dave, and it's time for another ID. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. Let's see, we'll contact Jim, N7QO in Covington. The mic is yours.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, good evening, Carlos. Good evening, Mario. Carlos, until you held up the 10 gigahertz antenna, I had 100% copy on audio and video, but after that, it degenerated to, I'm going to say, about 75%. Don't know why. And Mario, I had no audio from you over the television repeater or on our 2-meter repeater, but there was some on YouTube. But of course there was a delay and there's feedback on that. So I just barely understood what you said there. But good to see you, glad for showing up and participating with us. Ron, as far as hiring those fellows, yeah, I hate to say it, but keep in mind that once we're in our 80s or so, we can't work as hard as we used to. So I don't know about you, but for me, it's like I wasn't as good as in my 50s as when I was in my 40s, and it just went downhill from there. So don't feel bad that you can't take 3 bags and roll with it. Oh well. Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
N7QO, thanks for that. And let's welcome in James, WU7N. What say you, James?
Well, thank you, Dave. I'm attempting to connect in, and it looks like my audio is coming through, and I'm using Streamlabs, but it just keeps saying retry, retry. So apparently it's not taking the video signal from Streamlabs and putting it on the 1255 transmitter. It just says attempting to reconnect, and I kept on telling it to keep on trying, but yet I can hear my own voice on the low latency stream, but I just can't see anything coming through on the video. Let me pause for a minute here. Carlos, do you have any ideas on this?
Not on the fast reply today. Yes. I'm gonna email you a couple of screenshots. I don't see your call sign showing up, so I don't think the authentication is correct on the screenshot. So I'm gonna send you a quick email on that so that you can put the fields on the right place. I'll get.
Well, it could be an internet connection problem here. I'm still getting that annoying echo when you speak, but I'm not hearing echo on my own signal. It's really odd. I hear my own voice like 3 seconds delayed. Anyway, it keeps trying to reconnect. I'll look at my email and see what you sent me, Carlos. So why don't I go ahead and let the net carry on here. Let me turn it back to Dave, our net control for the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. I want to make sure I'm not jamming up anything here, so I guess I'll let the cell phone continue to try and reconnect via Streamlabs as long as it's not messing anything up. This is WU7N.
WU7N, thanks with that. And now let's bring up Carlos, 87N.
Okay. Oops. Camera on the other side. So this is from Streamlabs, and it's the okay from the phone. And so on the next call, I'll send you a note, James. But I think it's probably on the URL. We have the right URL of the RTMP, but then you need to put your call sign on the second line, and then question mark token equals, and then your token. I'll send you a quick email about what to put on the top line and on the bottom line, and hopefully that will work. Good copy from Mario's image was pretty good. And Jim, I copied the audio, and not sure what else. The issue on the transmitter, but it seems to be at the highest power right now. There's also this new set of instructions on how to get just your phone sending image. If you want to try it at some point, that's what James was trying, and that's what I'm doing right now. Kind of just sending image directly from the phone. All right, back to Dave, net control from 87 NP.
'87 NP, thanks with that. And if Mario is still with us, KD6 ILO. What say you, Mario?
Okay, Dave, I hope you have my picture and audio. My apologies for the rest of members, but I'm only sending audio on the transceiver, and not on the 2-meter repeater on Cool Mountain. I have set up this DVT transceiver today for my car, and I have it tested today. Yeah, you can see I'm tested. The other two lights on the very top are the optical transceiver. So this is RF to optical. And sorry I can't go on the shade, but it sends the signal to the optical channel over there to cause that on and the frequency and send it to 1532 millimeters, which is 193 terahertz. But this is not an high des on transmitter. Cause this one can be remote change on the frequency. And anytime I want via the internet, not internet. We have our own internet network. We call it near Earth network. And that goes to our vicinity Carlsbad. But anyway, back to you, Dave. That
Thank you, Mario. KD6 ILO. Again, we always appreciate you checking into our nets and keeping us up to date on what's going on in your area. Again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. And again, saying everything seems to be going well as far as video and audio is going on. Getting images that are looking good. The only thing we had was a little bit of a cutout from James, WU7N. And then Ron had one breakup during his transmission that lasted a couple of seconds, but it was back to normal. Don't know what had happened there. But outside of that, Ron's signal is very stable again and looking good. And speaking of Ron, let's go up and visit him. KD7 QKU, Ron in Tacoma.
Okay, thank you very much, Dave. KD7 QKU here in, I guess it's North Tacoma, Northwest Tacoma. We have such a small group tonight. It's just going around really fast. You don't have too much more to share. I'm just trying to think about what else I can share. When I was going over to the ham club this morning, I remember that GPS unit that you gave me, Dave, the big one. Well, I have it in my pickup, and the suction cup let loose and it fell down and it hit the windshield wiper lever and turned the windshield washer on, and the windshield was kind of dirty, and then it smeared up my windshield, and then I had to grab the thing and the GPS and put it in the seat. I think I was all over the road. Somebody probably thought I was nuts, but anyway, once I picked it up and got it off the steering column, and my windshield wiper stopped and got it in the seat, and then I turned the windshield washers on and washed the window with windshield wiper blades, and then I could see much better. So we have the baseball fields across the street, and they're dusty and dirty, and so when the kids are over there playing baseball, they stir up the dust, and then if there's a little bit of wind, it blows over here to our house, and it makes, I think, a lot of extra work for my wife. But anyway, it gets all over the pickup windows outside, comes in on the patio too. So that's life, I guess. It's nice that the kids have 3 baseball fields over there, soccer fields and stuff. There's always a lot of people across the street. It's fun to watch them come and go. Looks like Carlos went back to his lab, so he's probably gonna have some goodies to show us when his turn next. So Carlos, that antenna that you were showing us, is that for the new radio, and you're going to talk to the guy that's up in North Seattle? Okay, I figured that's what that was for. They do make 23 centimeter dishes like that. I had a homemade one that I used for quite a while, and just had a piece of conduit in the center, plastic conduit, and it had a radiator hose clamp that held it, and then you just slid it in and out to focus it, and it had like a little bow tie on the end, and it actually picked up the TV signal really well. I think somebody had made the little bow. I didn't make it. I got it from Norris. I think Norris made it. And the little bow tie that was on the end of the piece PVC that came through the center of the dish. The dish was like I would say a dish that kids used to slide on down a hill, and he had cut a hole, and he had pop riveted a little flap and put a radiator hose clamp on it. But the little bow tie on the end, he must have cut it to, he made it to 23 centimeters or something, because I did focus it a little bit, and it did make the picture slightly better at my house. I think maybe I gave that to Gary up by Snohomish. He lived up there, and I don't think he could use it, but we did from oh man, I can't say his name, another ham in Kirkland who passed away. He had about a 23 element Yagi, and it was the biggest thing I ever saw. It must have been, oh man, I think 10 feet. It was probably more than 10 feet long. So anyway, I think we gave that to Gary, and then he used it. And then we used to have another young guy that was in the group, and I can't say his name. He was north of you, Dave. He got married, and then we didn't see him much anymore. Oh, shoot, what was his name? Anyway, real nice guy. He had a big long Yagi too, I think. But anyway, that parabolic dish worked pretty good at my house. But I was so close to the repeater, anything would work good for me. All right, enough of that, I guess. Back to net, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU, thanks for that. Nigel was the person that was north of here that participated into our nets. And so now let's go to Covington again, to Jim, N7QO.
7QO, thank you, Dave. Let's see. I'm sure, Dave, I'm sure the video and audio is good, but not at my location. That's a problem. And I'm not sure, but I think Carlos was saying something about do my phone. Well, the YouTube here on my phone is just not really doable. I could do it like in an emergency, but there's a delay and there's a definite echo and sometimes some feedback. Not exactly sure what's going on with that, but anyway. Ron, dirty windows? Yeah. Pollen is bad around here. Not only dust. I saw something on television that they said dust in, I think, Massachusetts came from somewhere in New Mexico or maybe Arizona, they said, from a dust storm. I don't know how they figured that out, but it's just that time of year, I guess. And yeah, Nigel. Nigel is one of those that we lost when we closed down the television repeater at the schoolhouse and resumed operations at Cougar Mountain. So he cannot hit Cougar. Plus his wife was his new wife was keeping him busy, I'm sure. So anyway, he's one of those that we lost. And Corey was another that we lost because of that. And let's see. Yeah, Ron, have you, or for that matter, have anyone else had any communication with Dick lately? The last I heard, he was supposed to be able to go home. Does anyone know if he's home or any updates on that? I would appreciate that. Back to you, Dave, N7QO.
N7QO, thanks with that. And personally, I had a call with Richard, K7ITX, yesterday, and he was in fairly decent spirits. He's going to be hooked up to an IV to take care of his kidney functions this coming week. So anyway, he's looking forward to that. But he was in pretty good spirits and he was at home at this point. So he's set up for that. So now we need to go to WU7N, James, in Northeast Bellevue.
Pass on me. I'm trying to figure out how to get the key over from email over to my phone. So why don't you roll it on around? This is WU7N, Northeast Bellevue.
WU7N, thanks with that. So let's go to pick up Carlos, 87 NP.
Okay, 87 NP here. Oh my god, I don't need so many audio streams. Let's just find one that works. And I think I'm on 2 meters also. And on the repeater. Yes, so this is through RF, and I think it seems to be pretty good from what I can see. James, I'm happy to send also to, I think I have your phone, I can text you also the key. That's definitely not something to type, so I can send it directly. Jim, what I was mentioning is that this application that James is trying to set up, that I was using also, it's just an app on your phone that can send the video and the audio straight to the repeater, and then you can communicate through the video on the other side. But I think that's right. The image coming out from the repeater is pretty good tonight. To Ron's point, yes, that fellow Ray from Kingston, he sent me a note this week that he wasn't happy with his 905 and he was returning it. So I don't think he was keeping it. I encouraged him to come by and just watch the stream or let us know how we can help. But I think he was, I don't think he had the 10 gigahertz. But I found a couple of hams in the area that do have the 10 gigahertz, so I'm gonna try to set up the antenna and do some 10 gigahertz contact just for fun. That's it for now. We're coming to the top of the hour, so I'm gonna pass it to Dave to do the time management. This is 87 NP in Clyde Hill.
'87 NP, thanks with that. Well, let's go back and see if we can pick up James, WU7N again.
Seconds into an attempt, it says connection problems, attempting to reconnect. So, not quite sure why things aren't coming through, but it's been fun to try here tonight with the guy. It says I'm reconnected. Connection problems, attempting to reconnect. But something happened on the screen there. Okay, so maybe we're getting closer here. And now it says connection problems, attempting to reconnect. Let's see if it flashes on the screen again. Yes, it flashed a black screen. I'm up to a black screen. Oh, this is exciting. I'm up to a black screen now. Require some advanced troubleshooting here. So it's been a great net tonight. I see we've got 1 more minute. Oh, I'm back to a black screen. Let's see if it works this time. And
WU7N, thanks with that. And this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society broadcasting and digital amateur television on the BD format. We transmit on 70 centimeters. It's a crossband repeater and spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. So we'd like to thank the SeaTac Repeater Association for letting us use WW7STR's repeater 147.08 for our voice transmissions for our nets held Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. So on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, this is Dave signing off the net. Good evening all.